Alright guys, we are back. I have not done YouTube for quite a long time, but I thought it'd be fun to try again. So what I'm going to be showing you today is the baking soda faux acrylic nail. I have them on my nails right now. I am not a nail tech, just a disclaimer. I just do this for fun. I just try to find like hacks and things to make it a little bit cheaper to have nice nails. I honestly just wanted to show you the items and how to do it. So today I broke a nail, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go ahead and kind of show you how to do this. This is called the baking soda nail. These are all, they look kind of like acrylics. They aren't the best nail I've ever done, but they're definitely not the worst. And I actually broke that one today. The whole thing just popped right off, so I'm going to see if we can recreate pretty much this nail on this hand. So all you need is baking soda, glue. I really recommend this glue. It's really good. And then you'll need a file. And then you can use just like regular nail polish, but I'm going to use gel. And if you get gel, you do need a light. You do need some scissors, so if you want to cut it, like I like similar, a coffin kind of shaped, so I try my best to go ahead and do that. For this particular method, you will need a just a brush. You can get one anywhere, and then cuticle oil, just recommended, not needed at all, but recommended just to keep your cuticles nice and fresh. So what we're gonna do, we'll put this off to the side. I've already poured this into my bowl, and then we'll use this throughout the entire process. So I'll put this off to the side here. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is my little nail thing I've had forever. Find my nail shape for this little one. I kind of already know what I'm looking for. These are pretty old nails, which I don't usually use old nails. I feel like they, you know, can go bad and stuff. But, unfortunately, I ran out of my new ones, so that's what we're using. So that one seems to fit perfectly. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the Wonder Bond. Oh, actually, my bad. We're going to go ahead and file down the nail. So now my nail is like super brittle because it ripped off. It pretty much really ripped off. So my nail's super brittle, so I'm not going to file down that much. And you can just use a regular file. I recommend like a little bit rougher of a file, but you can use a regular one. This one is pretty rough on my nail bed, which I don't really recommend, but that's all I have. So I'm just going to use it. So for the Wonder Bond, we're going to go ahead, I recommend a brush. You can use the ones with the little like applicator on it, but it does kind of get everywhere, especially if you're not like very good at it, like me. So we're going to go ahead and brush it onto the tip here, which is just the part that's going to go onto your nail. And we're going to stick it back in there. It's kind of hard with these nails. I'm not really used to long nails either. It's just like all like, just trying new things here. We're going to apply that to the nail, just like a normal nail. I'm going to hold it. And it's like already really secure. This is from Sally's, like I said, the Wonder Bond. I highly recommend. I'm just going to paint it on just for it to keep it a little bit more secure. The bottom looks good. Try to do it as straight as I can. It looks pretty straight. See there? So now I'm just going to compare it to my other nail, which I know I had to cut some off of this one before. Like, quite a bit. I wasn't going to cut any off, but then my fiance was like, you need to cut some of that off. I'm like, alright, I guess. So I'm just going to let it dry. And I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut like, I think I cut this much off before, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the same. Oh. And then we're just going to trim the sides a little bit because I do like that coffin shape, or the ballerina shape, I believe it's called. So we're going to cut those edges. So there it kind of is. It doesn't need to be perfect though, because you're going to file it. So don't even stress about it being perfect. It's totally fine. And when you add the baking powder, it's going to it's going to like make it a little like chunky. Just don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. We'll file it out. It'll look fine. Okay. So now we're going to do, we'll brush off all that little fuzz. So this is my baking powder. So you just put it in a container like this, and then it's really simple. Like this is the most simplest nail. I think this one's way shorter. It is a little shorter. It's fine. But this is pretty simple. I mean, it does take some time, but when you're only doing one, it's not even going to be that big of a deal. So you're just going to brush it on the tip, just like that. And this is like the easiest because you're just going to dip it in there. It's kind of like a dip nail. And you're going to let it sit there for a second. And then you're just going to wipe that shit off. And then we're just going to go over the already dipped and just go a little bit above it. And just keep this process going. Dip it again. See, look where I put the glue. It wasn't all dry, but it's okay because we're going to file all of this down, so whatever is like too much or too overwhelming, we will get rid of. Your nail might look a little messy. It's not that big a deal if it does, because like I said, we can clean it up. The more you do it, the easier it'll get, and you can get most of the stuff, to be honest, at the Dollar Tree. So if you wanted to, which I didn't know, but the original video that I watched, she gave me a lot of information. Like, she bought all of her stuff at the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is a good way to save some cash, man. So you're just going to continue this. You want to make sure to get those edges because you don't want them lacking when it comes to the baking soda. Make sure it kind of like saturates all that because it's just going to make it better. But make sure it's not clumpy as well. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. So I use this drill here to go ahead and file it down to make it just extra, like almost try to make it as close as the salon as I could get it. But I mean, it really doesn't matter that much because when you tell people, oh, you did these at home, they're gonna be so impressed. I do a lot of things at home as well. I do my hair at home, and sometimes it turns out good, sometimes not, but you know, it's all learning, which is what I personally love to do. I do have this little UV light that I'll be using for the gel polish as well. So you see how it's like looking almost like an acrylic nail. Now the only thing you want to watch out for is make sure you don't have any big bumps that aren't filled in, because if you do, you just want to put some glue in there. I personally don't right now, but I mean, could happen. Alright, we're going to dip it in there one more time. So that was the last time we're going to dip the top of the nail in, because the top is now pretty thick, if you can see. So we really don't have to stress about that anymore. So I'm going to wipe off that. And then as you can see, this part of the nail isn't as thick. So we're going to go ahead and go over it a few times. Just to go ahead and build up the strength, because you're going to need strength on your nail in order to There's like a dog here. I'm sorry, I have like a huge dog. Literally gonna clip it because it looks like it's stuck in there. Alright, so now we're just going to go ahead within your original nail and just pack it on there. It can look like it's separating. That's not a huge deal. We're just trying to get it so it's strong on there. So when we go to file it and everything, it's not going to break, and throughout like the daily, it won't break. That's been my biggest issues with any nails that I do, is that they will break. I just decided to do the whole thing. Not necessary, but so I have to do extra filing. My biggest issue with nails is that they will break, and when I do them at home, like I go to a salon, not a big deal. They probably won't break because I just do everyday activities, but every time I do them at home, they break. So I've been trying to find a solution at home where they don't break. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the excess powder. And see how it's like no longer my shape that I had it before. So we're just going to file it down. So I'm going to get rid of this. That's done with. I'm going to take my file and I'm just going to file it until I like it. Be careful with a really granulated file to not file your skin because it will hurt very much. So see, as you're filing, you're going to get little like pockets. You're going to just want to file those bad boys down. And as you file, you want to file around the cuticle, the nail bed. This is when I would give up on this file. You can totally use the file and continue on, but I want to see if I can get results a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and hop to this guy. This guy is like 30 bucks at Sally's. If you do not do your nails on a regular basis, or you don't care to start doing nails on a regular basis, I do not recommend. It does not have that much power, but it definitely helps get this job speedy. Getting the nail to a pretty like soft finish is the hardest part of these nails. But, they are, at a budget. You can just use home items. Most of the time people have nail glue. And baking powder. Or baking soda, my bad. And like I said, you do not have to use gel polish, but I personally like the look of gel polish. It does last a little bit longer, I feel like, than regular polish. Plus, it just gives, I don't know, it just gives an extra little, like carrying it under the light and everything. I did get my light at Walmart, which, it's not for the actual gel. It's for, like, the semi-gel that you can get at Walmart. But I just bought it, and it works for the actual gel as well. Which I had no idea. I just bought it, like, forever ago and was like, oh, we'll try this out. Alrighty. So it's kind of boxy, but I'm like okay with it. I'm gonna feel it. It feels pretty nice, to be honest. It's kind of hard to tell. But there's like a little divot in there. You just kind of have to examine the nails. This is just a similar nail file, but different shape. I think it has a little bit higher of a like grid on it. That's what it's called. I feel like these are starting to look pretty. Okay. Alrighty, hope you can see all that. Okay. My nail bed can feel like super sensitive. It's really normal when you're doing all this, I feel like. Especially if you're a beginner. Try not to beat into it too bad around the nail. That said, we're going to go ahead and use that cuticle oil. So I have the acetone. I'm just going to use some actual toilet paper. God, I cannot talk. To go ahead and clean up my nail bed with some acetone. You can use paper towels, Q-tips, you know, or a cotton swab. I just don't have those items on me. I've ran out recently, so it's fine. We'll just use this. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I was just wiping out all the little flyaways. Okay, this will also dry out your pure acetone, dry out your hands severely, so I don't really recommend. You can go wash your hands as well. Alright, well, it's looking pretty nice. I'm going to go ahead and start painting it. I have the little UV light here, so I'm just going to paint it my orange. This is called Brights Have More Fun. Brights Have More Fun. Instead of blondes, I guess. Brights Have More Fun. Okay. Anyways. So I'm going to take it here. I usually like to dust away all the dust because, oh my god, I don't want that to get my polish. In the original girl, she used the ombre, which I love, but I just don't have actual polish. I only have gel. So I couldn't do that. So we just did a plain color. Now, the thing with gel, which I really love, is that it's super forgiving. So if you happen to make an oopsie and get it on your fingers, it's not a huge deal because it just wipes off, which you probably already know if you've ever gotten your nails done with gel. So we're going to go ahead and stick this in the light, cure it. You also need the pure acetone if you're using gel because you have to wipe off the, there's a top layer of, it's a sticky material. I'm not exactly what it is. I'm not sure. If I was a nail tech, I would totally probably know. But since I'm not, I have no clue what it is. But it's a sticky feeling like adhesive or something. But it's just not a pretty feeling on your nail. So you'll need the acetone to wipe it off clean. I recommend a top coat as well if you're going to use gel. So I bake this for 3 minutes. And then I'll do 2 coats and then the top coat. So here's the second coat. And then I just try to get on the edges as well so it looks a little bit cleaner. I really feel like anyone can do these nails. The only thing when they break, mine broke today, and it was so painful. I have to be honest, it was pretty painful. This one was also affected, and it's a little sensitive. We just wait. And I think it's going to be good with 2, so we're just going to go ahead and seal this up, put it off to the side. And then we'll go ahead and put the top coat. Okay. And if it's not cured all the way, you can totally tell because it will touch it. You can touch it and it will come off in your finger. That's what I just did right there. On the edges, it wasn't cured, so I have to stick my finger in upside down. Upside down to cure it. Okay. I'm going to throw this top coat on there. If you do not put a top coat on, what happens is as soon as you take the acetone and wipe it down, it will become like a matte and it will not look very pretty. So you do kind of need the top coat if you're going to do gel. So I'm just going to grab my TP from earlier and go ahead and get my acetone in a second here. We're going to wipe down this nail and we will be good to go. I do think this one is a little bit longer than the other one. This one might be a little bit thinner too, but like I said, I'm not a nail tech. It's just, trying to do home nails, so therefore I can spend a little less money. Okay, we're going to be done with this right here. Okay, move that off to the side. We're going to grab this, soak my toilet paper in it, and then we're just going to apply to the nail. See, if it's not all the way, it will just come right off on the acetone if it's not all the way like baked. But as you can see, it looks really pretty. I don't care that that little piece was... It's definitely a different, it's definitely smaller, but it's alright, because when I redo these, they're going to be a lot smaller anyways, due to the fact that I did them way too long, just trying out the long nail look. I'm just going to put this on all my fingers. I highly recommend using the oil to go ahead and resaturate. Hand can get so dry, especially around the cuticle. My cuticles get like really hard, and then like sometimes I live in Nevada, so my skin gets really dry, so it's really hard to keep it all moisturized. After this, I recommend lotion, because if you've touched the acetone on your hands will be dry and they will be a little tad of white. So you want to go ahead and put some lotion on there. So on when it comes to nails, like I said, I'm not a pro. I'm just trying to make it easier for people to do it on a budget and all that fun stuff. We're just going to rub this into the cuticle just like at the salon. If you haven't got your nails done, you can most likely do them at home. I started like a year ago, but my nails are not perfect. I don't do them constantly. I just like to, have a little color. Alright, well thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Shelby. And if you want to have more videos or something like this, just let me know. And like the comments, I've never really posted anything, so I'm all new to this, but thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day or a great evening or morning, whatever it is, but have a good one.